What up, everyone? It's David Ruffner, your owner and CEO of District Piedmont Palms. And this video today is just upping your pots, getting them blessed in 1 Samuel 16:7, getting their hearts ready for God to look at them. As you can see, I have this one here. Its heart isn't really in Christ because we got some ugly fronds. We're going to give it some fertilizer and some well-draining soil. Let's get it. It's hot out today. Hello, everyone. It's David Ruffner, your owner and CEO of District Piedmont Palms, and we're here at our district office here in Wheaton, Maryland. Just looking beautiful with our abundant front yard filled with sunflowers. Today, I'm just going to show you how to just up your pots to make them look good, just to keep your plants abundant and thriving. As you see here, I do have some good looking, and I don't want to say they're the best looking. This is our coconut. Has some fronds that are burnt. Trachycarpus fortunei with burnt fronds. Some Washingtonias, looking pretty good. But the reason why, and if you could see there's some burntage on these fronds, is they're not fertilized. I had grew these at a time when, and this is a banana that hasn't been fertilized, I grew these at a time when I really didn't know that fertilization was important for plants, and they're pretty much just grown with topsoil. So what we're going to do is we're going to up these plants today. As 1 Samuel 16:7 says, God really looks at our heart. And humans look at our appearance. And as I could see as a human, we see their appearance. They're looking okay, but their heart really isn't anchored in Christ. And we're really going to get that fertilizer, that well-draining soil, just to get their hearts in Christ and just pumped up and ready to go. So I'm just going to show you today, just get your plants, your palms ready and fertilized in Christ and just looking beautiful. Another good example is this Washingtonia. You don't have to really give it a new pot. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're also going to cut these fronds off too, because the fronds look really bad. Like, it's thriving, but it's just not, its heart isn't anchored in Christ. So let's get it going with this. So as I said before, you don't need a new pot. What you just need to do is you're just going to tip it over. And see how all those roots are at the bottom? Sometimes people like to cut them off, and I would do that. I just get a little scared and I'm OCD, so I leave them on there. But what I'm gonna do at the bottom of this pot, at the base of the pot, we're gonna start putting the new soil. As I said earlier, all you need is sand. Remember, topsoil, y'all. Or not topsoil, sorry, potting soil, y'all. Don't get topsoil, potting soil. And it's still, don't use potting soil by itself. Make sure you get that sand in there too. I have some sand and also my Cocos Core. I mix it in, and I also have my Job's organic fertilizer. This is all the stuff that will bless this plant. So I just put at the bottom, I would say about yay high. This is about 4 inches of the magic mix. So I put the magic mix at the bottom. Remember, I did not change this pot at all. Just a handful of Job's, maybe a little less. Washingtonias don't really need a lot of fertilizer. These grow like weeds out in California. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick this Washingtonia up and drop it right down in the pot. And see how it kind of went over? That's fine. You're just going to push it down. I was like, uh-oh, I might have needed a new pot for it. But we're just going to push it down. Push it down on in. And then what I do is I cover it with the sand, get rid of these weeds. Cover it with that Cocos Core and sand so those weeds try not to come back. And don't worry, when you water this, since it's so drainy, it's just going to go right on down. Like I was worried with these two too, but they're going to drain right on down. And then next spring, we'll get them new pots, but save money on some new pots here. So now we want to cut those fronds. I used to be scared of doing this, but my dad, who's a pastor, he takes care of my palms out in the Piedmont in Warrenton, and he always cuts their bad fronds, and they look really good. But it really doesn't do any harm. It actually helps send more energy to the parts of the plant that it needs, like this stem right here. It's pushing, always pushing out a new frond, and it's pushing out another little new frond, abscessing right here. But you want to cut off the yellow stems to make it appear like its heart is anchored in the Lord. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so I just finished blessing and upping these, and look how good they look. Fronds are cut. Some of them look a little younger because those fronds are cut, but look, no weeds, cut fronds. They already are just looking a lot more greener, you guys. Looking amazing. Giving them a little bath before I set them out. Right, y'all. So we're looking good, looking good. Applied First Samuel 16 to some of these plants, and they're just looking wonderful. Gave them each identity in Christ with their flag, cut those ugly fronds off, and gave them fertilizer and well draining soil. So now we're in the beginning of August. These babies go in around, I would say, um, during my husband's birthday, around like October 9th ish, they'll go inside, maybe a little later than that, but they'll grow so much more. And I'm going to give you guys an update just on that. I just didn't want them sitting there. I mean, they would grow, but like I said, they would look ugly because they're just not rooted and anchored in Christ. But now that they got faith, love, joy, and peace being that fertilizer, and that well draining soil, you need that well draining soil, not that soil that just keeps you stuck from not growing. And we want to grow in Christ, y'all. Look at this coconut. It was looking dead at first. My husband saw it this morning and said, "Is this coconut dying?" But I was like, no, it just needs to be blessed. And it would still grow, but it's just not gonna look good. It's not anchored, it's not rooted. And now my neighbors are going to love me because now these weeds aren't growing out of the pots. What I'm going to work on is getting more uniform pots for my palms like this. I want to keep her here, my European fan palm, but I am going to get a new pot for that. Because my husband and guests probably won't like it, the Home Depot pot looking like that. I decided to do a little outini with this Robusta because I have the marigold growing out of that. So I just put the little outini right there. I got Moses looking at me through the window now. And also I did another outini, this banana. She wanted to stay there. If you grow plants a lot, you could tell. I mean, look at her attitude. She does not want to move at all. And I'll just show you my third little outini right here. Just my little outcrops of plants. This is a princess plant from Washington, D.C. And these are, of course, more Washingtonia Robusta. But thank you. Anchor your plants in Christ, y'all. Just don't let them be sitting there growing, looking ugly. You know, give them that well. Everything pretty much needs well draining soil. So give them that sand, the potting mix, no potting or no topsoil, and the Cocos Core. And you should be good, you guys. Love you all and have an amazing time in your garden.